Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. Today we're talking about Babylon 5 and an episode called Walkabout. Now, the title suggests what Stephen Franklin is going through right now. He, as you recall in previous episodes, has been addicted to stimulants, and in trying to break free of his dependence on that, he's stepped down from his role as chief medical officer and has started just walking the station. Garibaldi catches up to him, and he kind of explains it that what he really needs to do is find himself. He's lost himself in his duties and has lost the essence of who he is. And his walkabout leads him to find a singer, and there's a love story there. And it has a twist at the end, as you might expect it would, but it's a nice little story that gives a little more stretch. The doctor character is pretty flat. It's, we got to give them the medicine, and we don't know if they're going to make it, and sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. And really the only thing they gave him to do was this addiction thing, and trying to get out of that, they needed something to give a little more breadth to the character. And the doctor apparently is the only character that I can think of that hasn't really been given a good look at. So I think that's what this episode is about. Now, the B story on it, interestingly enough, is their preparations for fighting the shadows. Sheridan has an idea of how to use telepaths in order to make it easier to defeat the shadows. And so he asked Lita Alexander, who's back on the station and feeling guilty about having not been there when Kosh died, that they would go and find out if she had enough telepathic power to immobilize the shadows in order for them to be able to defeat them. And combining her with some Minbari telepaths and request from the Narn, who have a ship in the vicinity, is what they attempt to do in order to try this experiment. It's kind of a fool's errand, but the idea is that that's the only option they have left to them. They don't know how to fight the shadows otherwise, and this may be just the thing that does it, or if it doesn't, they might as well know now and prepared just to give up, I guess. So we know how it's going to work, essentially. We know that this is going to be successful, that Sheridan's coming back. It's not one of those kind of things where are you going to, kill off the main character? Probably not. However, it's treated well. We have a minimal amount of we can't take another hit. We don't have enough power. It's going to take us 10 more minutes to charge up the cells and all this kind of stuff. It does have that, but it does not overuse it, I don't think. And so it gives a good look at the Narn and the conundrum they have, in that they have a much depleted fleet and they still need to defend themselves against the Centauri. And so what is it going to be in their involvement with the Rangers? And it comes down to just this. They're either going to help and everybody survives, or they're not going to help and eventually everybody dies. So once again, it's pretty obvious from the beginning how that's going to end up, but how it does and what form it takes is of interest. And so they do pretty well with that in this episode. Generally speaking, most people have a good part in this. Garibaldi's character is less comic relief this time. Actually, the same thing with Londo. and even Ivanova only has a couple of quips to make. It's a very serious story, and it's about time for that, I think. Things are starting to heat up, and they have all the pieces in place now to begin the Great Shadow War, and it's a matter of just putting it into commission over the next season or so. So I'd like to know what you think about it. Please put it down in the comments. And if I may ask for you to check out my new channel at Ron on Retirement. That's where you can find it. I have it super in front of me so you can see that. And I'll also have something at the very end of this video to allow you to click directly to it. It would be a personal favor I would consider if you would just check that out. Let me know what you think about it, and of course subscribe to that if you will. In the meantime, we'll be back tomorrow with another DS9 episode, and who knows what happens later in the week. It's going to be one of those weeks. Till then, don't go far.